Welcome back to the Gore Guide, where we're on a journey to compile the definitive list of gore and splatter films. Today we're continuing our look at the Wrong Turn franchise with Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. In the forest, only they can hear you scream. Well, and us, because there's a film crew there. Wrong Turn 2 is a 2007 film directed by Joe Lynch, written by Turi Meyer and Alfredo Septién, starring Erica Leerhsen, Henry Rollins, and Texas Battle. It took 4 years to get a sequel to the surprisingly successful first film, but here we are back in the Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia. They could have just played it safe and stuck to the successful formula of the first film, but they took a risk with all new cast, crew, new killers, apart from Three Fingers, and a different approach to their murderous antics. Sequels are tricky things. On the one hand, they have the pressure of living up to the success of the original film without disappointing the fans, but on the other, they have the ability to take some of the already successful elements and elaborate on them without spending too much time on some big reveal of the killers. The filmmakers can assume that you already know what the film is about and they can just get on with the good stuff, although you really don't have to have seen Wrong Turn to enjoy this film. But how does it live up to the original? Well, let's take a look and find out. A group of people are taking part in a post-apocalyptic themed reality TV show where they have to survive nuclear fallout in the remote woodland of West Virginia.
Every day you'll be given a radiation elimination card, and one of them is already contaminated.
But foraging for food and fake radiation poisoning soon become the least of their worries when they find out that their camp has been set up in the hunting ground of a family of deformed cannibals. They realise that their make-believe survival game has become all too real as they start getting picked off one by one. Sequels really work best when they add something different to the original formula, and the reality TV survival theme adds a really interesting and fun element to what could have just been a standard rehashing of the same cat and mouse theme set in the same location, just with a bunch of new faces.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Because it's a competition, the characters are quite diverse and interesting. Not many of them know each other, and because they're there to win, they start out quite dislikable.
I'm vegan. That might be the only thing I can eat out here.
Well, you can always go chew on a tree.
However, where most films sacrifice excitement for character development, the survival theme ensures that we get both here. The casting is really good. Every actor fits perfectly into their role, with Henry Rollins being one particular standout. He plays Colonel Dale Murphy, a former US Marine who is now the host of the show. It's awesome watching him go from gruff, shouty TV host to Rambo-like cannibal killer. The antagonists are great as well. It's nice to have the seemingly unstoppable Three Fingers back, although his role is a lot smaller here. And Wayne Robson, who was merely credited as Old Man in the first film, returns here in a much bigger role to supply us some much needed backstory on the cannibal family. The kills in the original Wrong Turn were really disappointing. Luckily, they've been massively improved on here. Wrong Turn 2 starts as it means to go on. We're introduced to two of the killers almost immediately, and we get a pretty gruesome death within the first 5 minutes. The effects are well done, and the film is suitably bloody with a lot more on-screen deaths. There are some really memorable moments, and even a couple of genuine shocks that really add to the excitement of the film. You really get to like a few of the characters, and you never really know for sure who, if anyone, is going to survive. The film has a general light-hearted feel about it, which works fine, but the actual attempts at humour sometimes fall flat. Jonesy, played by Steve Braun, is the character that's meant to supply the comedic relief, but he's actually just irritating, and he ends up just being one tired cliche after another.
Spear. I like it.
It's so long and hard.
I like that the killer family is focused on more in Wrong Turn 2, but I think maybe it's just a little bit too much. They get almost as much screen time as the characters you're supposed to be rooting for, and they can get a bit annoying at times, especially the kids. There are even a couple of scenes where it feels like we're supposed to sympathize with the killers, which I didn't really like. It really felt out of place with the rest of the film. Towards the end of the film, one of the main characters gets taken hostage, and there's a scene around a dinner table which kind of feels like an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't really have any atmosphere. It's not tense or scary. And at one point they're saying grace before they eat, and I still can't tell if it's meant to be funny or not.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Today's a good day to die.
My favourite kill in Wrong Turn 2 is when the old man turns on Dale, and after a fight, he gets blown up with a stick of dynamite. Having recently watched Wrong Turn, which was disappointingly tame in regards to kills, Wrong Turn 2 feels like a bloodbath. It's not, but it does have some great deaths, which look cool and are really well done. So Wrong Turn 2 gets 4 out of 5 for amount of blood, and 4 out of 5 for quality of effects. Wrong Turn 2 isn't just a great sequel, it's a great film. Everything good about the first film has been taken and exaggerated on, and the end result is action-packed and thoroughly entertaining. A couple of annoying characters doesn't change the fact that this is the best installment in the franchise. So Wrong Turn 2 gets 4.5 stars out of 5. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on Wrong Turn 2, or if you have any requests for future videos.
Join me next time when we'll be taking a look at Psycho Goreman.
There's a link to the trailer in the description below, along with a link to my list of films on Letterboxd. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe and click on the bell to keep up to date with new content. Thanks for watching, and until next video, have a bloody good time.